lived a young boy named Thomas. He was only 12, but he was already taller than most of the children his age, with a head of wild brown hair and a heart full of dreams. His family was humble, living in a modest cottage at the edge of the village. His father, a blacksmith, worked tirelessly, while his mother, a kind-hearted woman, tended to their home. Thomas had a younger sister, Emma, who always kept him on his toes with her curiosity and endless questions. The village, though peaceful, was often threatened by bandits who roamed the forests, preying on weaker settlements. It had been months since the last attack, but the villagers knew that another one was always just around the corner. Thomas's father had always said, "A time will come when you must protect what's yours, no matter the cost." Those words echoed in Thomas's mind every time the winds howled through the trees, as if warning of an impending storm. One chilly autumn evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, the quiet of the village was shattered by the distant sound of hooves pounding the earth. The bandits had returned. They were a ruthless group, known for their cruelty and destruction. This time, they had come in greater numbers, their eyes set on the wealth the village had managed to gather from years of hard work. The villagers scrambled, hiding their children, gathering their meager weapons. Thomas's father, seeing the fear in his eyes, grabbed him by the shoulders. "It's time, son," he said, his voice grave. "They'll come for us. They'll come for your sister. You have to protect her. Protect your mother. Whatever happens, you must keep them safe." Thomas had no idea what he was supposed to do. He had never fought in his life. He wasn't even sure he could lift a sword properly. But in that moment, he realized there was no choice. The village, his family, his sister, they were all depending on him. He grasped the wooden practice sword his father had made for him years ago. And with a heavy heart, he followed his father out into the night. The bandits arrived in force, their torches casting eerie shadows across the village. The village men fought bravely, but they were outnumbered and outmatched. Thomas's father fought with all his strength, but he was quickly overpowered by the sheer number of attackers. Thomas stood frozen, his hands shaking as he watched his father fall. But when one of the bandits turned towards Emma, who was standing in the doorway, terrified and vulnerable, something snapped inside Thomas. He rushed forward, his heart pounding in his chest. His legs were unsteady, and his sword felt too heavy, but he didn't stop. The bandit sneered at him, raising his weapon. But Thomas swung the sword with all his might, the wood connecting with the bandit's arm.